Parliament began debate today on Canada's role in the air campaign against ISIS, even as a Canadian military advance team is already preparing for it. Neither the NDP nor the Liberals support the Canadian mission, raising concerns about potentially working with the Syrian government, killing innocent civilians, and the lack of an exit strategy. The government says it is Canada's duty to heed the call. Catherine Cullen has more. Catherine?
Well, Wendy, the Prime Minister didn't show up, and at times the House of Commons looked about half full. But maybe that's because with the government's majority, the outcome of this debate is a foregone conclusion.
The government delivered a mix of force, fear, and patriotism.
We must help repel this threat before it unleashes a tidal wave of fundamentalist rule across the entire region.
My Canada doesn't leave all the heavy lifting to others.
The government also tried to pull the rug out from under the opposition, who have been calling for more humanitarian aid. Okay, said the government, up to $10 million more for victims of sexual violence at the hands of ISIS. But the Foreign Affairs Minister said it isn't a choice between aid and airstrikes.
That is not a false distinction. It is a dangerous one. It is not either or.
The opposition wasn't buying it.
Italy, Germany, Norway, all close NATO allies, all involved in providing aid, all rejecting airstrikes as Canada should reject airstrikes.
And Tom Mulcair insisted there are a lot of questions about airstrikes they still want answered.
What is the realistic mandate of the mission and how's it being enforced? What are the criteria that we will be using to measure progress? What is the definition of success?
Criteria to measure progress, definition of success.
Questions Jack Layton asked about Afghanistan all the way back in 2006, Mulcair pointed out. His way of saying this mission could grow well beyond the 6-month time frame.
Saying we'll review in 6 months is not an exit strategy.
And there are other questions, too. How did that initial 30-day mission sending military advisors into Iraq go? How much will this mission cost? The defense minister didn't answer those questions. Mostly, he repeated that ISIS must be stopped and airstrikes are the way to do it.
This is one more step, and it's the step we have to take. It's the right thing to do. We want the support of everyone in this House, and we should get it.
Government sources say a Canadian reconnaissance team is already preparing for the CF-18s to arrive in the region. And the clock on that 6-month timeline began ticking last Friday, leaving the NDP to ask why the government is holding a vote on a mission after it's already begun. That vote, by the way, Wendy, is expected tomorrow.
Thanks so much, Catherine. Catherine Cullen.